Hey guys, it's Brian. Welcome to Comics Now. Wanted to talk about just a few things today. First off, though, we love doing giveaways on Comics Now. We often, Jay and I, get merchandise from various companies to do reviews, but we don't always have space on our own shelves to hold on to that stuff that we get. And so sometimes we like to give it away. And last month we celebrated our biggest month ever. That was August. Wait, biggest month was July. We did a giveaway in August to celebrate that. And we grew our followers on Facebook by over 100 in that time, which was super encouraging. We picked up some followers on Twitter as well. And folks were just really enthusiastic about it. We had a winner and a runner-up, and we're getting ready to ship out packages soon. Just waiting on the T-shirt for the winner. And I think the runner-up, you're gonna have your package pretty soon. So very excited about that. But I happened to get some things recently that I reviewed and that I do not need to hold on to. And so we're going to do another giveaway. If you folks are plugged into this YouTube channel, or if you follow what I write over at Batman News, then you know that very recently I reviewed these guys. These are from Kotobukiya. It's the Joker and Harley. And they're great on their own. They each come with a few interchangeable heads. Well, Jokers are interchangeable heads. Harleys are interchangeable faces. And they're great on their own. They look really fantastic. They look a lot like their animated series counterparts. Maybe a little bit thinner on the Joker's part, and probably a little bit more shapely on Harley's part. But overall, they really ring true to Bruce Timm's designs. But they're really great when you have them together, because each of them comes with some additional accessories for the other. So if you get Harley, you get some extra heads for the Joker, as well as an extra arm, 2 extra hands, and 1 extra accessory. The playing card. You get a Joker card that can go into one of those hands. So that's really sweet. And if you get the Joker, you get some extra faces for Harley. And that's great. And then it's also great to display them together, because they look really neat together. So if you haven't seen my video review of this right here on the Comics Now channel, go ahead and check that out. And you can see some good pictures of the two of them on their own and displayed together. And I take you through the pros and the very few cons for these figures. So they're really, really excellent. I'm just excited to give these away to somebody that really wants them. So here's how you enter. Number 1, you need to be following us, or subscribing if you're talking about YouTube, on one of the platforms that we're on. So if it's YouTube, you need to be subscribed to the Comics Now channel. This channel right here. There's another Comics Now. It's a guy in Belgium, talks about comics all the time. That's not the one. You can subscribe to him if you want, but it's not going to help you with this contest. So be subscribed on YouTube, like us, not just follow us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. So that's step 1. Follow us, subscribe to us. Step 2, on YouTube, you can comment on this video right here. So leave us a comment so we can see your username, and that'll enter you right here on YouTube. On Facebook, we're going to have a Facebook post up talking about the giveaway. You need to share, and you need to like that post. On Twitter, we're going to have a post up on Twitter as well. You need to like and retweet that post on Twitter. Those are the ways to enter. Now, here's something we're going to do a little bit differently this time. If you do one of those things, you're entered once. If you do more than one of those things, you're entered for as many of those things that you do. So you have a chance here to be entered 3 times into this giveaway. If you do all 3 of those things, your name is going to be put 3 times into the selection process that we use to pick a winner. And so you're going to increase your chances of winning. So I think this will be pretty cool. It'll help us grow Comics Now, and it'll also help you guys have a bigger opportunity to maybe win something. And you know what? We're not that big right now. We're just a couple hundred people following us on Facebook and Twitter. and barely anybody following us on YouTube right now. So the odds are the best that they will ever be, because we have been and continue and plan to continue to keep growing. So this is a good time to to be entering one of these giveaways from us, because you have a really good chance to win. So giveaway, exciting, great. Let us know if you have any questions, if anything is confusing. Next thing, and the last thing I think that I want to talk about today is the Captain Marvel photos that came out in Entertainment Weekly. So next big Marvel movie is going to be Captain Marvel. Comes out before Avengers 4, early next year, 2019. And so a couple things I want to talk about. One, most obvious thing, I think the costume looks fantastic. We've seen the sort of aqua and other non-expected Captain Marvel colors on that suit that we've seen pictures of before. And the design of the suit, taking the colors out of the consideration, actually looked really good. But we've been waiting to see the actual Captain Marvel colors, the blue, the red, the gold. And so we get to see that now, and I think it looks fantastic. It looks really awesome. It looks like Captain Marvel's costume. So that's really, really exciting. We also got to see in some of the pictures, we got to see some Skrulls on the beach, and that was awesome seeing the Skrulls too. That actually has me more excited for the Fantastic Four in the MCU, hopefully within the next few years. It's got me more excited for that even than it does in Captain Marvel. Even though, you know, rubbing up against the Kree Skrull War, that'll be super cool. So, yeah, Skrulls, very awesome. I think the pictures look great. The other thing I wanted to talk about is there's been flack from various corners about two things. One is the way that Brie Larson sort of announced that they would be putting these pictures out. So I think the day before, or maybe 2 days before, she said, "Hey, we're going to break the internet tomorrow, me and EW." It gets people to pay attention, but, you know, was this a breaking the internet sort of thing? Was this a trailer, which a lot of people hope for? No. So that was kind of cheesy, maybe. But, you know, that's how you market. And it got people talking about it, and it got people paying attention, and it put Captain Marvel in the conversation, even without a trailer. So I think that's pretty good. I would not have marketed it that way. I would not have what I view as overpromised. I would have just maybe said, "Hey, we've got some cool stuff from Captain Marvel tomorrow," something like that. But hey, I'm not in charge, and I'm not in the movie, and so my opinion ultimately doesn't really matter. I'm just glad that we got the pictures, even though it'd be great to have a trailer. And that leads me to the other thing that people have been talking about, and a lot of people are either worried about the movie or seem to be gleefully predicting the movie's doom. And the reason that they're using is because the marketing is not really in high gear yet. It is typical for a big movie like this to have some kind of a showing at San Diego Comic-Con prior to its release. I don't follow this stuff very closely in terms of trailer schedules, but I think we would have had a teaser by now for a lot of other films. And yeah, you can be cynical about this, and you can say that the movie is really bad and they're trying to retool it, and that's why we haven't seen anything, because if they show a trailer, the expectations for the movie are going to be in the toilet. So you could be cynical and you could say that. Or, because nobody really knows, you could say that we're in an unprecedented time for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've just had Avengers Infinity War. We had the heaviest ending ever in a Marvel movie. Now, we know that a lot of these people are going to come back, but it doesn't matter. I still get moved if I read a book that I've read before. I still get moved if I watch a film that I really love, even though I know what's going to happen. Christopher Nolan's The Prestige, for example. Just watched that again recently. I know everything that's going to happen. Still super exciting. Still super moving. So we know that at least a lot of those people are going to come back. Who cares? Anyway, I digress. We're in an unprecedented time where Marvel does not want to let slip anything that might spoil certain things in Avengers 4. So you could be cynical and say we haven't seen more Captain Marvel marketing because it's going to tank people's expectations for the film, but we don't know that. And what we do know is that we're in a different scenario than we've pretty much ever been leading up to a Marvel film, and it doesn't surprise me in the least that the marketing strategy might be a little bit different. And I don't think that they're going to hold off on marketing forever, but I think that they want to keep things a little bit closer to the chest for a little bit longer before they reveal particular things. And somebody might shoot back at me and say, well, hey, Captain Marvel's a prequel. What could Captain Marvel possibly spoil about Avengers 4? And that's a good question. I thought of that question myself. Given that we know that Captain Marvel is going to have a significant role in Avengers 4, and we read about that prior to the release of Infinity War, and then the end credit scene in Infinity War makes it pretty plain that Captain Marvel is getting summoned by Nick Fury before he becomes dust in the wind. So we know Captain Marvel is going to have a large role to play, or at least a significant role to play in Avengers 4. So there's certainly a possibility that something in her film could spoil something in Avengers 4. Even if it's not a major spoiler, it's perfectly reasonable to think that there's going to be something in that film that has significance in Avengers 4 beyond just simply that we're seeing Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, for the first time on screen. So I'm willing to give Marvel the benefit of the doubt. I'm certainly not predicting doom or anything like that. I'm still excited about the movie and excited about Avengers 4. And Marvel has a super impressive track record. And I'm not going to assume the worst for them until they give me reason to do that. So really excited about the film still. And certainly for its own sake, but also for the implications for Avengers 4 and the implications for the Fantastic Four. So anyway, guys, let us know what you think of this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I think you have to hit the bell to make sure you get notifications if you want to know when we have new videos going up. You can visit our website at comics-now.com. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at comicsnowcast. Send us an email at comicsnowcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook just by searching Comics Now. You can find our podcast. Just search in the iTunes Store or in Google Play or wherever you get podcasts. Search for Comics Now, and you can find us on there. Until next time, I'm Brian Warshaw.